For decades upon decades, the allure of the B-movie has been something that has captivated audience worldwide. Films like Evil Dead and others, I'm sure, have managed to make the most out of a minimal budget and great ideas to make something that captivates and entertains generations upon generations of audiences. And with me today is a guest who has captured that spirit of the B-movie, that spirit of the independent artist and author, and is able to create something on a similar level, both paying homage and being able to strike out and make something completely new and exciting all on its own with his game, The Lacerator. And that man joining me today is the one and only Fernando Tittz.
Yay! Hi there, everyone. That's my real name.
It is.
And thanks for the introduction, man. I'm really happy to hear like all the comments about Lacerator, and yeah.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's great to finally have you on. I know we had a brief interaction at PAX. People watching this now, you can check out the clip. I would say it's out of all the videos we've ever put out, if you only ever watch the clip of me talking to Fernando at PAX, just the clip version, you'll probably be set for the rest of your life. I don't think you'll ever have to watch another YouTube video for the rest of your life. You'll be completely enriched, and your life will be great. Just watch that one.
Yeah, it's life changing. You got it. You got it.
People are calling it the Citizen Kane of YouTube Shorts, I've heard. But yeah, let's get into it. So
Yeah,
for you,
I like the costume though.
yeah, thanks.
Big costume though.
I know I went all out. I thought, the reason this time we got more reviews, the more sex appeal. So it's good. You got Max,
Oh yeah,
and I've got my thing going on.
yeah. You even got the nipple there, right?
Oh yeah, just you gotta be true to the source material.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at it like, does he really have the whole thing showing? It's like, okay, I gotta cut the flap and have it just going over the belt line. But yeah.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, so what for you, Fernando, what got you started? What made you get into gaming? How did that begin?
Gaming in general, like playing and
Yeah,
like
when you're
playing.
a young child or maybe even
Mhm,
later in
yeah.
life, how did it all start? What got you
Yeah,
addicted to this
so
horrible disease of gaming?
I think it's a blessing actually. But well, basically like I'm from 1997, like I was born in 1997, and I have an older brother which is like 4 years older than me. And when we were both child, our father he bought us. I think he bought it to himself, but he used it as an excuse, like, oh, it's for my sons. He bought a PlayStation 1, and that was my first interaction like with video games at all. It was on the PS1. So the first game that comes into my mind, like I don't remember exactly what was the first game that I played, but the first one that comes in my mind is probably Tekken 3.
Really? That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense, actually, based on the ending you
Yeah.
got.
Tekken 3, like Tomb Raider, I don't know which one, or like Metal Gear 1. So these were like the games that we played a lot when we were a child.
Who'd you use
So
in
these
Tekken real
were
quick?
kind of my very first contact with games. So I know
Who
that
you
a bunch of people start on like Nintendo or stuff, but I pretty much started on the PS1, and I still think that it's a great console, and
Oh, it is. The PlayStation
yeah,
1 is some of the greatest games of all time,
yeah, it is.
without a doubt. Like, still, the Final Fantasy VII remake, as nice as it is, I think I still prefer the original. It's just got something
Like,
to it. I think the look of it too.
mhm.
It's really
But
got
do
a
you say
certain.
like every game, or talking about any in particular?
Oh yeah, I would say any. I mean, I don't know. The Resident Evil remake's pretty good,
Okay,
but
yeah,
I've always been a big fan of the PlayStation 1 low polygon aesthetic,
yeah, me
especially the
too.
horror games. It's really,
Hmm.
I don't know what
Yeah,
it is. I
I
think.
think there's something very kind
Mhm.
of spooky about it, even if they're not like horror games, because uh,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever played this, but there's a game called Medieval,
Oh yeah, with
which you play
what's his name?
as,
Edmund or Deadmond, right? I know.
sorry,
What's his name? The skull head
Daniel
protagonist.
Fortesque.
Yes, I'm way off.
No, no, don't worry. You play as like a skeleton and stuff. And that game, like, it's not an horror game. It's an adventure game, but it has like a very spooky vibe.
Hmm.
And when they did the remake, like the graphics were very good and stuff, but with like the sort of haunted feeling wasn't there, you know? Like I feel that
Yeah.
the PlayStation 1 has, I think it's probably like the render distance and the resolution and stuff, but some games just feel like way more spooky than probably they should, you know?
Yeah, it
That's
loses that
amazing for me.
allure, I
Like,
think. It's like the same
yeah.
thing, like VHS tape, something about it, that grain, that like grit.
Hmm.
It loses that sense of like mystique, that feeling. It's gone when
Yeah.
everything's just so high res, everything is so out there and in front of you. It's the
Hmm.
magic.
Exactly. And also this has something to do with horror because like when you see something like very detailed and bright, you probably won't be afraid of it anymore.
Right.
But when you see like crunchy pixels that your mind is kind of trying to figure out what it is, that kind of makes it even more terrifying. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Just filling in the
I
blank.
even think that like nowadays most of the bad graphics horror games usually are scarier than like games with good graphics, you know.
Oh yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
that's kind of because of it, because our mind is kind of trying to put the pixels together and put the resolution so we can understand it. And I think that's kind of an extra effect to it, you know.
Yeah, it's that uncanny feeling, that fear of the unknown, that I think the PlayStation
Exactly.
1, it really was able to capture that. Maybe not what they were trying to do, but it worked really
Yeah,
well. Like,
exactly.
because the PlayStation 1
It's
stuff,
such
I
a
think
specific vibe also, right?
it is. It's like haunting, really, the emptiness
Exactly,
that
yeah.
I think, like Silent Hill 1, for example. I
Hmm.
played 1 and 2, but I still prefer 1 just because 1 feels more miserable, more alone, more like
Hmm.
forlorn. It's got a very specific aesthetic, very specific feeling that I
Got it.
yeah.
It's kind of like I think it feels more sort of dream-like
Yes,
than the second
exactly.
one, right? Yeah.
The second one, yeah, I would say so. It's more dreamlike.
Yeah,
Like,
like I think it's because the first one has like more like purple fog or
yes,
like
there's fog
it has a bit
everywhere,
more
and
of color
mm,
and like the second one I think it's also great, but it's way more like uh gray fog and white fog and I think that the first one has a few more colors to so I remember it like with a lot of purple like in the overall feeling of it. Not that it is purple, but it has I think it has like a more dream-like vibe than the second one. But
yeah, just
I
running
like
around the
both
town.
games like, for
Mm.
sure. I even think that I prefer the second one.
Yeah, I
To
know everyone does.
yeah, yeah, kind of. To be honest, like to be fair, like Silent Hill. I think the gameplay of Silent Hill 1 is better because there are like more creatures and you really gotta like fight some of them and really escape. The second one, I think that the combat is pretty much feels like optional and you pretty much don't need to engage most of the times. So I think that kind of gameplay wise, the first one is better in having like a survival horror feeling to it than the second one. But I like the story of the second one way more.
Oh yeah, the story of the first one is a little bare bones.
Yeah, like I'm way more into like the second one because it feels more like personal, a personal thing, you know. The first one is more like about the town and it has some personal stuff also, of course, for the characters and stuff. But I just feel that the second one nails it like better in the story at least.
Oh yeah. Well, the actual storytelling in the second one is better for sure. I think the first one really uses the advantages of trying to use just like what they can show you and trying to make the
Yeah.
town feel like an alive kind of haunting entity
Hmm.
that is existing along you that does really nicely, that I like a lot. Especially the
Yeah,
transitions,
yeah.
like the Rust world and everything. But anyways,
Hmm.
yeah, not to get too caught up on it. So yeah,
Yeah, don't
what would
worry.
you say?
I really enjoy talking about it also, so don't worry.
No, I could tell. I could see the influence of the disgusting rusty grates and the nasty
Yeah,
sewers. Yeah,
exactly.
classic survival horror staples. We say those are kind of the things that led directly into the sort of stuff that you ended up making, like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, all those.
Yeah, so I always liked survival horror. So to be honest, my first contact with like horror games was with Resident Evil 3 on the PS1 also. But at that time I was too young and I was really scared and afraid of Nemesis, you know.
Yeah,
I had like a honest fear, you know. And I was so young that it was sort of a puzzle game for us because it was like this. My cousin was the only one that had the skills to play it. because no one was usually like I was too young and most of people like weren't so skilled with the controllers, at least on my family and friends. And my cousin was the only one that could actually play the game, but he didn't knew English. So my father knew English, and so my cousin would play, and my father would be like, "Oh, you need a key to open that place," or stuff like that. He would be like the walkthrough tutorial for my cousin. And me and my brother, we just went there, saw Nemesis, and ran away from the team.
Yeah.
We were just kind of getting in the way of their fun and just like
Yeah. Just like a
getting
first
scared.
fear. Yeah.
Yeah, but then like Resident Evil 4 was the first game that I could like play and get through it like when I was like a little bit older. I was still young actually. I think I was like 9 or 10 years old when I played Resident Evil 4. But that was the first one that I pretty much got started playing and could play. I had the skills. That game didn't have like so many puzzles that required me to
Yeah.
speak
Leon's a bit
English,
more
so I
competent.
could, yeah, so I could pretty much beat it without like having to look over guides and stuff because there weren't guides at the time, right? Like probably there were like, well, I didn't have like I wasn't very into like the early internet or stuff, so so I didn't research. I just talked with friends that also play the game to maybe if there's a part that I'm stuck, some of my friends have passed it. But anyway. Resident Evil 4 was pretty much the first one that got me like more into horror. And I know that it's way more an action game right now when we look back, but for 9 or 10 years old me, that was pretty much terrifying.
Oh yeah,
So
horrifying. Yeah, nasty
yeah,
tentacles and blood
exactly.
and cultists and everything.
Yeah, and like the Chainsaw Man, I had like fear of him in real
Mhm.
life. I was like, oh, what if I'm walking in the park and he comes around? Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But I had like a very specific fear of him and like some of the enemies of the game. And then like from Resident Evil 4 and beyond, I pretty much started loving survival horror as a genre. So it's pretty much started like on Resident Evil 4 and then Resident Evil 5, which is also more into action. And then I started using like emulations to play the old ones. So I played like the third one, the second. I haven't finished the first one yet, but I have played like a part of it. Uh, yeah, I pretty much enjoyed a lot like Resident Evil, and then the Evil Within that came also like later on, and then like not survival horror but Outlast and stuff. And then like just very later on, like I think a few years ago that I got into Silent Hill as well. Like I think that I was way too much like, oh, I'm a Resident Evil guy, and I
Right.
wasn't giving a chance to Silent Hill. But when I gave it a chance, I was like, man, I was just wasting my time.
I've been
These games
missing
were,
out.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
just missing it because both of them are actually great, and they don't have to be competing.
Oh yeah. And
And
I mean, they're
yeah,
way, way different. Like,
yeah, exactly. They're both pretty good at what they do, right?
mhm.
So yeah, like pretty much survival horror was like pretty much my favorite genre. And every time I was playing, I was thinking like especially when I was like a bit older, like I don't know, like 16 years old or something like that. I was playing those games like Resident Evil 5, 6, The Evil Within, Resident Evil 4 again because I played it like a million times. And I've always got me thinking like how could a game like a survival horror be better? What could we do to make it better? So I started like, oh, maybe few resources, limited movement. So I kind of started having like this idea to I've always wanted to create games like since I was a kid. But survival horror pretty much got into me like when I was more like a teen. I really wanted to make one. And then yeah, and then I started making games like just a few years ago, around 6 years ago actually. But survival horror is pretty hard to do. So I've made like 4 games or 3 or 4 games. I think it was 3 like my games before I could actually make a survival horror because it's pretty hard to nail down like inventory and stuff and gameplay.
Yeah. And you really get that fear. Was that Well, I guess that kind of leads into the next one. What's kind of your philosophy been creating these games? What's your main thing that you keep in mind as you're developing these? What do you want people to feel, and what are you going for?
That's interesting. So I think I have each project I have sort of a goal, you know. I
Mm.
think that, like, for example, for Lacerator, I wanted people to really experience like the feeling of sitting down and watching a movie that it's so bad
Mm.
that it's funny as hell, you know.
Yeah.
So for Lacerator, this was the very specific feeling that I wanted to deliver through a game, right?
Mm.
I wanted to kind of make an playable grindhouse movie, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And that was pretty much the goal of Lacerator. Like I wanted people to play it and feel like tense when they're playing or they're engaging combat and stuff. But I also wanted like the contrast to be like very funny, you know. So it's pretty much a horror slash comedy thing.
Yeah. I think that
But I
definitely
think that
comes through.
yeah, but I think that each project kind of has like its own goal, you know. Like I always want player to feel something, and I think that each game the it's I usually design it to the player feel something different from the last game, you know.
Mm.
So like I have some horror games that are more like pretty much horror. I have one that's more action, and all of those has like different different feeling to it.
Mm.
But but I don't know if I have like a like a philosophy like set in stone, you know, like
Mm.
I just want to make like games that feels good to play and that are like
Yeah.
interesting in their own way and kind of weird and unconventional, like stuff that you probably won't be getting like in AAA or stuff like that.
I think
I kind of
that's
want
very
to,
valid. Yeah,
yeah,
like
I
a
kind of
new
want to
experience.
explore like more, yeah, more weird stuff and you know,
Yeah.
like Lacerator pretty much explores like a lot of bad stuff, you know, and bad slash trashy stuff. And I think that there's a lot of value and beauty in trashiness, you know.
I yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic experience. It's definitely coming through with what you made, the comedy. I was thinking that's probably what really makes Max such an interesting main character is that he's such a stupid, terrible person. Because
Exactly. Yeah.
I think
He's
that's
an
another.
asshole, you know.
Yeah. Like that's the thing too. Like Leon in 4, people like him because he acts like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. He has stupid one-liners
Hmm.
and he's very flippant in a situation where he shouldn't be. Whereas people don't really
Exactly.
like Chris because he's very neutral. He's like a rock. He doesn't react to things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least I don't. But
Yeah. I think that I think a lot of people like Chris, but they're pretty much different characters. Like exactly what I said. Like Chris is
mm,
way more like concentrated in the mission and stuff,
mm.
and Leon's like playing around.
Yeah, backflips and
Exactly.
saying random
Yeah,
one-liners.
hmm and also like when Honeygun calls him, he's like hitting on her and stuff.
Yeah, they had to
So
remove that one. I remember.
yeah,
Yeah,
and we
tragic,
can tell
tragic
that
loss.
Axe is like even more exaggerated than Leon in this kind of he kind of doesn't even realize the situation he just
Oh yeah, it's
just
so.
called sex and stuff, you know.
It's funny. I think he really made a great character because that's the thing that's always persistent throughout every playthrough with Max is that anyone who's smarter than him is a nerd. Nerds are stupid and he doesn't like them. Anyone who knows anything he doesn't know is a nerd. He's like very homophobic, but he has a giant dick as his like most prized possession.
Got it.
He's a very funny guy. It's the contrast of his life and everything he does, I think, really makes him stand out as a survival horror protagonist.
Got it. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
We
it's
got it. We got him right here. Yeah.
yeah, that's the man himself,
Yeah.
right
And this
before
is
getting it.
exactly the same banner that you saw that day. Like
Oh,
I
you took it
brought
back.
it.
Nice.
Yeah. All the
Yeah,
way from Seattle to Brazil.
yeah. Hold on to that
This is
one.
the
That's
banner,
good.
yeah.
It's worth keeping.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. So we've kind of got into your past, but what exactly
Hmm.
started the Lacerator? What made you kind of get up and say, this is what I want to make? I want to make a game about Max against this disgusting hulking like
Hmm.
figure, and I
Got
want it
it.
to be this game.
Okay. So it was more like of an iteration process. when I first started like the Lacerator, it was supposed to be like a trashy thing
Mhm.
because I pretty much wanted to do it like for a long time, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to make a very trashy one. So the Lacerator was supposed to be like a more trashy game in the feeling of like grindhouse and stuff. But for example, Max wasn't there right from the beginning, right? Uh,
Really?
yeah, yeah. Like I pretty much just started like programming like the mechanics of survival horror, and I wanted to make like something that was funny and stuff. And I don't even remember how the hell like came to me the idea to make like a porn star. I don't even remember it. And that's sort of bad because lots of people like ask me about it and I don't have an answer. Like I just think that I pretty much like to improvise and to create during the development. No, like I don't know if you're familiar with like sort of writing process and stuff, but there are a few writers that like to plan everything down from the beginning, and then well, this can be applied to game as well. Like some people like to pretty much design everything about it and then go making it, but I like to start somewhere, like with a team or anything like that, and then I like to improvise and let ideas come around and
Mm.
well, some ideas stick, some go. So I really enjoy the process of creating and sort of see what goes. So
Yeah.
Max was a good fit actually. Like I was thinking about like ideas. I was probably thinking about like ideas for protagonists and stuff. And the idea of a porn star pretty much clicked. And I think that was pretty much the when it started.
Yeah,
But
it
I had
just
like
spawned.
but basically, I wanted to do like a trashy like grindhouse playable game. This was like the very start and the very like first thing that I was like, okay, I want to do survival horror. I wanted to do with this sort of vibe, and then let's see what comes around. I also wanted the character to be like a badass looking character. Like the first, yeah,
He's
the first
huge.
model that I used was like a borrowed from a game of a friend of mine. The game's called The Chameleon, and he's like a guy with a mustache, with like
Mm.
flower t-shirt, like Hawaiian t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this dude's amazing, but I gotta create one, right?
Mm.
Because I was just using a borrowed model, and I was like, yeah, I want it to be like badass and stuff. So yeah, I ended up creating like Max, and I think that it's because of I like this kind of character, like the guy with the goatee and like mullet, and
Yeah,
it's just funny, and also you see him and you're like, oh hell yeah.
I know. It's real like the things that are pointed, the things about Max, he's like so hyper masculine. It's so funny.
Hmm.
Like he's getting his like leg chopped off, his dick chopped off, his tongue chopped off, and he's always got that cigarette in his mouth. It never
Exactly,
falls
yeah.
out ever. It's like the most important thing. It's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's amazing. He's
Never
just
never
like
goes out.
pure like dumb masculinity in one character.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's it's really funny stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it's crazy that Max was not originally part of the whole thing. So was that with the Lacerator also? Did he come later when you were going through like grindhouse, just kind of brainstorming ideas? You're like, oh, the
Mm,
penetrator, the Lacerator, oh, that's it, like that kind of thing.
got it.
Yeah.
No, so like the lacerator was there right from the start. The first kind of image that I done for the game was like a poster for it, and it was like the name was already the lacerator. And then
Mhm.
I had like a subtitle that was like he tortures, he kills, he lacerates. But then I this I just removed it. But the lacerator was there like from the very beginning. Like
Mhm.
I always had like a psychopath as the main villain, but I didn't have like the main characters or stuff.
Mhm. Then were you like ingesting a lot of like old kind of grindhouse or like specific films also to kind of get a good ideas, or is this all just straight up your own minds?
I think that Lacerator, he like the character himself is way more like leaning into like slasher movies. So like
Hmm.
yeah, like Friday the 13th or stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I also enjoy watching series. There's a TV show that I really like that's called Mindhunter.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
it tells like about real psychopaths and stuff like that. And this is not like very cool to say, but Lacerator, like the vibe of the Lacerator is kind of inspired by like real psychopaths, because
Mm.
he has like his family and stuff, and he do stuff like
Yeah.
hidden on the. He's like a very well succeeded man that does stuff like on the background. And yeah, he's sort of like and like he has like his sort of ritual whenever he wants to kill people. He has like his ritual. It's in the game, but it's more like subtle in some of the notes.
Mm.
But he like acts like a real psychopath, you know.
Yeah,
So
he's got his whole second life. He seems to be
yeah.
portrayed as a sort of a very high society, kind of like a
Mhm.
cultured type of guy in his day to day. Was that also intentional? Kind of the contrast of the lacerator, his persona that he puts on is this kind of like college educated, elevated guy, super ritzy, super rich, like obsessed with like culture and meaning. I think he's also implied to be an actor based on what I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah,
Yeah.
he this is spoilers for people that doesn't know, but he's a very famous actor. Like he is kind of the best actor, let's say.
Yeah,
And
he's like a Daniel Day-Lewis type of guy.
yeah, and he does like the lacerating stuff on, well, on the background. But yes, the at first it was supposed to be like not exactly a rich man, but someone that is successful, you know. And then I wanted him not exactly successful, but someone that can be that you never think that is a psychopath, you know.
Mm.
This was sort of the idea, but then I exaggerated in a point that he's like very famous, and this kind of makes him. This is what also makes him like less suspect, you know, because he like people in general will just see him as like, oh, he's the hero of that movie, so he might be a good guy, you
Mm.
know, but actually he is a very like bad guy.
Yeah, just like real life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But
literally.
but but yeah, like he kills, and yeah, he does horrible things.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that sort of the idea? Because Max is so upfront about who he is, for better or for worse, and
Hmm.
he's not, I assume, a very rich guy based on what we see of his home life. He's not like
Hmm.
a smart man at all, based on playing the game at all. You'll
Got it.
find when you interact with anything with Max, he's not a smart guy. Was that
Yeah, yeah.
also part of the kind of the dichotomy between the Lacerator and Max when you're developing the characters?
So like Max he's sort of dumb and all that, but he is pretty successful for like his standards, you know.
Mm.
He's pretty much happy with his own life and his money and stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't say that Max consider himself like poor or unsuccessful. I don't know how to say it in English. So he pretty much considers himself like successful,
Right.
and he
So
sort of is, you know.
he's
He
satisfied.
is famous,
His
yeah.
life is good. Like
Yeah,
he
like
doesn't want anything else.
he is famous. He
Yeah.
really is famous in the porn and stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
it's the hero pornography.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And yeah, so I guess yes, there's so many questions I have, but the problem is they're about the actual story, and I want people to actually play this game.
Hmm.
So I will say, as you're making the Lacerator, going through the different
Hmm.
flows, I feel like from what you said, a lot of your old like big favorites really played into some endings in a large way.
Mm.
When you were making the different endings, was there anything in particular? Did you know what you're going to do for the endings, I suppose? Like, did you decide
No.
beforehand, like, oh, there has to be an ending for this laceration, and then this
Hmm.
condition? Did you just, after that, just kind of go based on whatever you felt made sense at the time? Was there any planning, or did you just know you wanted those endings at some point in some way?
Well, some of them I kind of I so like from the very beginning of Lacerator, like a few months in development, I figured out that I would do like multiple paths and multiple endings, and then I got like a few ideas of some endings being like ridiculously over the top, and some
Yes.
being like very references to movies also. Uh, so I pretty much got like the so that like very from the start of the development, there wasn't like exactly how many flows or how many endings it would be. But when I pretty much sat down and like set in stone, like there will be three flows,
Mm.
then I started thinking like about different endings for each of those, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but pretty much like the variants of each ending was some of those. It's because I also don't want to spoil that much, but the one that has like Tekken reference, it
Yes.
was kind of
Exactly.
it was one that I was like, I didn't knew that it was going to be exactly like this, but I wanted to do like something too much over the top that people would watch it and be like, man,
It
what the fuck
was
is happening in the
so
game, you know?
crazy. It was so
Yeah, like,
fantastic. Not to give anything away, but that was the one that I streamed that one, and all the people who were watching were like, "Wow, Max, he
got
kind
it.
of gets shit on, but he's really a badass actually." And then it immediately cuts to the reality of the situation.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah.
so fun. It was so funny. It was
Thanks, man.
fantastic. It was definitely my
But also,
favorite.
like, I wanted to do like some of them very over the top to even do like a contrast between like, man, this ending is way more nuts than the others, you know, so
Mm.
stuff like that. And since I had it planned like multiple endings, I wanted to be to feel free to do some of them be very trashy, you know. So for example,
Yes.
yeah. So for example, I don't know if you have seen this one, but there's one that you pretty much explode the lacerator with a weapon, and then the credits roll right away. Like you explode him at the end, you know. And and since the game has like tons of endings, I've had the freedom to do
Oh yeah.
some of
I
them
mean,
being very trashy, you know.
and once you get a hang of it, you can go through the game to get those endings in like
Mhm.
what 2 hours max if you're really going slowly. But it's really nice also that it's a survival horror game that you can really just go through. If you have a good idea, you can get through it. It just makes sense. You know where to go. You know what to do. You can see those endings,
Yeah,
and it's still fun. Most importantly, you don't feel like you're
got it.
belaboring the point, which I think is a big problem with replaying a game for me. Is that
Mhm.
if I haven't forgotten what happens, it's not very fun to play.
Got it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the
I don't
flows
know
add a
how
lot to
like
that too.
I think that the having the multiple flows kind of make people more interested in replaying it because it's sort of like three games in one, right?
It
Because
is.
the flows are very different. But I'm not sure if people have like that much fun. For example, let's say you play flow one and then you replay it again, you know. Like
Mm.
some stuff can be different, but I think that players will have more fun playing the other ones, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know, like uh,
I think it makes sense to go
players have
through.
like very different reactions about it, you know.
Well, I'm enjoying. I'm still going through my fourth playthrough now. So if that tells you anything,
Awesome, awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Like I wanted
absolutely.
the game to have like the trashy vibe and the feeling to it, but I wanted it to be fun and actually good, you know, because uh I think it's kind of it's sort of a downside of some games that try to do like something more trashy
Mm.
because sometimes the it's also not that fun to play, you know. So I tried pretty much to do like something that is sort of trashy in its own way, but is also sort of good, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the good way to go about it because it does capture that
Mhm.
aesthetic. It gets that feeling of both those old PS1 games and also just terrible blockbuster VHS you could get
Mhm.
from some like no name or some like Canon films, just complete just zombie apocalypse slop garbage. It really captures the essence of those two things, smashes them together in a really nice way that I really like. And
Awesome, awesome.
yeah, so I would strongly recommend anyone watching if you have not picked up the Lacerator
Yeah.
to get
Play
on that. Yeah, to
Lacerator.
play it. Yeah. So I guess last thing about. Ooh,
Whoa, the focus, man.
I know
All
I'm
right.
crazy. I know it's because of this. Last thing about the Lacerator. What do you want people to walk away from the Lacerator with? What do you want people to feel from playing the Lacerator? Now it's
Yeah,
out in
so
the world.
got it. So I want players to sort of play it. Of course, not everyone will like it, but I want people to like it and have a good time. But also, I want people to sort of play it and realize that trashy stuff can be very fun. You know,
Yeah.
like I want people to realize that it's not only Lacerator, like there's a bunch of things, stuff like this around that can be like way cooler than something that's like standard or normal, you know?
Oh
So
yeah.
for movies, games, music, I sort of want people to kind of give a chance to like bad media, you know, trashy media in general. So
Because
that's kind of the goal, you know. I
doesn't
want
everything
people
doesn't have to be a Oscar nominated for it to be worth your
exactly,
time.
yeah,
In fact, usually it
exactly.
isn't. Like I'd say the best film ever made is Evil Dead 2, and it didn't win any awards. The greatest snubbing of all time.
Got it. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
a
my
that's a
favorite one is Dusk Till Dawn.
oh
Like
the Robert Rodriguez.
exactly. This is my
Yeah.
favorite movie like of all
Drinking the
time.
shot off the foot and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Sorry. Can you repeat what you said?
Where Quentin Tarantino drinks the shot off of Salma Hayek's
Yeah,
foot, right? Yeah.
exactly. This one, like it's
Yeah.
my favorite movie, and I know that it had like very good effects at the time and stuff, but it has like a very trashy feeling to it, you know, a
Mhm.
very yeah, you
Well,
know,
Robert
like
Rodriguez, he's like a genius of trash. He makes exactly what he wants
exactly.
to make, and he's not embarrassed by it at all. He makes fantastic movies.
Yeah, even like, well, we can even see the inspirations like Planet Terror in
Yeah,
Lacerator, some parts of
absolutely.
Machete, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that even like this is not like the only trash thing that exists out there, Grindhouse, but I feel that like people should try it, you know. So that was sort of the thing with Lacerator. Like I wanted people to play it and then think like I wish there was more stuff like this for those who
Hmm.
doesn't know it, right? Like people that doesn't know Grindhouse, play it and be like, well, I wish there were more stuff like this, and then they go like searching and then find like the Grindhouse culture and
Yeah.
trash culture, and then they're
Oh,
like, oh, so this is a thing, you know.
yeah.
I also pretty much think that most people that will play Lacerator are already familiar with this type of stuff, you know.
It'd be great. It'd be
So I'm
great for
not
someone
sure.
to play Lacerator and then just be immediately just become a full trauma addict, start watching like the Toxic Avenger and everything, all those crazy
Yeah,
movies.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Expand your taste, expand your horizons. Watch things that don't
Exactly.
just have your favorite actors in it. Jack Nicholson's great and all, but check out some movies with Nicolas Cage. He's actually amazing. You just don't know it. You won't let yourself enjoy it.
Hell
You
yeah,
should.
hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what's next? What's next on the docket? Are you continue to work on the Lacerator? Do you have another project you want to start working on, or what's going on?
Yeah, so so far like I've released the Lacerator like 3 weeks ago, I think.
Hmm.
And I just dropped it like an update with some bug fixing and stuff. And well, for now and beyond, I'll make more games. So
Excellent.
I will make more games, so don't worry about it. But I'm not sure if I'm working on Lacerator again right now. No.
Hmm.
I'm sort of like I have like bunch of ideas that I wanna put in the world, and well, I'm not pretty sure which one of those I'll focus now, like after Lacerator. My plan is actually to sort of take a break,
Hmm.
and while I'm taking a break, just have fun, like, well, sort of like, well, a real break, but also just like I pretty much enjoy making games. Like it's my work, but it's also my hobby, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
fun.
so while I'm in like my work mind break, I'll pretty much like experiment some games
Hmm.
and some like prototyping and stuff and figure out what I want to do next. Like I pretty much don't know so far, but I'll be making games, so don't worry about it.
Fantastic.
I just need to figure out what idea I want to make because I have millions of them.
Great. Well, hey, I'll be there.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Some of them are survival horror, some aren't. Some are like
Hey,
more
as
stealth stuff.
long
Some
as it's
are
something that you want to make, it's something unique, like you were saying, an experience that you feel like is underrepresented or not seen at all. That's
Mhm.
perfect. Even if it's not survival horror, I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great. As
Like
long as
like
it's yeah, cool, you know?
yeah, my goal is pretty much to do like some yeah, something that you won't see every corner, you know? I want to do like some unique stuff, but not exactly survival horror. Some of the ideas are, but some aren't, you know. I have like stealth, like third person stealth games in my mind, first person like shooters, and yeah, third person shooters, tons of ideas. I will pretty much like have a break and experiment with all these ideas, and then I'll come around with like one of these to focus, you know, like, okay, this will be my next one.
Nice. All right. Looking
And
forward
then
to
switch
it.
gears and go to it.
Fantastic. And do you have any perspective words of wisdom for any people maybe wanting to become a game developer? Anything you'd want to tell anyone who wants to follow that path?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that if you have like the dream of making games, you pretty much gotta start making them
Mhm.
because well, I'm from Brazil, and like since I was a child and stuff, I always wanted to do it. You know, I always wanted to make games,
Mm.
but I also always was like sort of trying to also dodge this dream of mine. You know, I was like, oh, I think it's too hard. Uh,
Mm.
maybe it's not worthy. Like I think that is sort of different because in the US or like several countries, game development is pretty much a very known experience. You know, like in Brazil, it's so like rare. Like it's growing and it's growing very good. Like through all these years. But when I was a child, I didn't knew like even how games are made. You know,
Right. It's like
so
magic.
yeah, it's magic. And then I was pretty much like dodging this dream all my life, you know. Yeah. And I think that if you want to make games, you pretty much gotta start. You know, you gotta pretty much put in your head like, yeah, I really want to make it, and then I'm going to make it. And if you have like a certain specific idea or stuff, also don't wait people to do it for you, you know? So don't be the person that's like, oh, I have this idea, but I don't know how to program, so I'll find someone to, at least you have like tons of money, you know? But
Yeah.
but most cases are like people have an idea, but they don't actually want to
Do
have
anything.
like the work to do it, you know?
Mm.
But you will just have to like deep dive into it, you know, like
Yeah.
try and
There's
learn and do mistakes, do stuff right, and pretty much go, yeah.
there's no
And
dream that was ever actualized without hard work or any work.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And also like if you're already like making games or you already have your mind that you want to make games, I think that the best kind of advice that I can kind of say to beginners is true. This is the most cliche one. So everyone talks about like doing small projects, and I think that's real. Like I think if you're just beginning, I think you also should start with small projects. But I also think that you should try adding like more personality into the
Mm.
projects, you know, because several of the like starter projects are very like prototyping and basic stuff, which is not bad. But as soon as you get like into the prototyping and get into as soon as you get like how you really make games, uh, just try adding more personality to it, you know, like doing more unique stuff,
Yeah.
unique
So it makes
sort
it
of style or unique gameplay, but try to do, just don't try to be copying games out there, you know, try to do your thing.
yeah,
Even
that's what
if
makes it
it's,
art. That's what makes it stand out.
yeah, even if it's like I'm not trying to say that try to do an impossible game, but try to do like even if let's say you're doing a Vampire Survivor game, which has a lot of games out there,
Mm.
just try to do like a very different art style or try to really put like a twist in the game that comes from you, like from yeah. Try
Yeah.
really adding like personality to it, something that comes from you, your vision. So yeah, that's sort of it. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's kind of
Put
cliche
yourself
and
in
sort
it.
of
No, it makes sense because I
now,
mean,
but
no, it's perfect because there are so many things. People look at like the front page, people look at their discovery queue, people look at what's going
mhm,
on Steam, and there's like endless supply of people seeing the most popular game and copying it, and with no real
mhm,
feeling of individuality. And I think that is the thing that is necessary for it to stand out and for it to be worth playing is to inject yourself into it, to inject your own things you want to see into it, and your own
mhm.
sense of self
Yeah,
and individuality. And I think that's
exactly.
fantastic advice. Actually, I think that's what it's all
It,
about. That's what makes it art. That's what separates it
yeah,
from just like playing a game just to see bright colors on a screen flashing at you and giving you a seizure, and what makes it a real art form. I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, like I say this advice because I see like lots of people that are like new to game dev, and even people that are into game dev like for a few years and stuff, but they kind of don't doesn't yeah, they still like don't have like the guts, I don't know, or the inspiration to just put stuff there like that is really like unique or stuff. Like I see a bunch of people just trying to, yeah, just trying to do a game, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah, personality is the key, like in my opinion.
you're right. It's a fact. It's
And I think
elevated.
people should try it more, you know.
Yeah, try it. Be yourself. Put it out there. We promise we will not make
Yeah,
fun of you. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
you'll be rewarded. All right. I think that's great. I think that's really good. We actually also have community questions if you're willing to answer
Cool.
those from the video
Yeah,
fish
let's go.
community. Yeah. So from starting from the one buns, I think you've already answered this, but she asked, "What's your favorite Robert Rodriguez film is?" But I think yeah,
Oh,
Dusk Till Dawn. Unless there's a couple.
yeah. Oh, yeah. My favorite one is Dusk Till Dawn,
Mhm.
and after I think it's Planet Terror,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
the two movies that I like the most from him. You know.
I could definitely see that with one of the routes in the Lacerator, the Planet Terror
Yeah.
influence.
Uh-huh. These are the ones, yeah. But Dusk Till Dawn is not like only my favorite movie from Robert Rodriguez, but my favorite movie of all time. You know,
Mhm.
so
It's a great vampire film. If you haven't seen it, you should
yeah.
watch it.
And the reason that I pretty much like it like even more, it's because, well, this will be a spoil if you don't know the movie, but pretty much I love that they make a very like good history and compelling history that you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Mm.
And then they just say, fuck it. You know, like they just shove the complete plot inside their asses. And yeah, now we have vampires and they're surviving, you know. So I
Yeah.
pretty much enjoy like the guts and the courage that they had to pretty much do something that was pretty good, and to that, at least for me, it was pretty good. Like the start of it, I got like very curious with what will happen next, you know. And then they had like the courage to just, yeah, fuck it. They will be fighting a bunch of vampires and that's it, you know. So I think that's amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can see that. As we talked to, I think one of our previous guests was saying is basically what the Sinners was just a rip off of Dusk Till Dawn. The same
What?
thing.
Sorry?
Yeah, the movie Sinners that came out recently was like Dusk Till
Oh,
Dawn knockoff.
Sinners.
hmm
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
It's got a very similar idea of Dusk Till Dawn.
Got it.
Very yeah. Well, in case you see it, I won't say anything else.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it since you mentioned it has like the similar stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and also from the one buns, do you have a favorite point and click adventure game?
Oh, so I'm about to probably like disappoint someone, but I think that I haven't played like any point and click game like
Yeah,
ever,
it's
you know.
fine.
So probably the most like the closer to a point and click like adventure game that I played was like some Flash games, like Sift Heads, you know. That's pretty much like Stickman.
Yeah,
You know the old Flash
yeah,
games with
stick-based
Stickman
Newgrounds, all that stuff.
with violence and stuff. So
Oh yeah,
I pretty much
stickdet.com.
I'm not familiar with point and click games at all. So sorry about this.
Yeah,
But I say, yeah, sorry about that.
All right. Yeah, and from Sam, regular
Mhm.
co-host Sam, he did give me a couple of questions for you as
Cool.
well. I know him and his wife were playing the Lacerator the other day. First of all, what was the most challenging aspect of balancing the horror and comedy tone throughout the game?
Oh, got it. The hard part about mixing both of them, right?
Yeah.
So I think that when I started the project, I was sort of struggling more to set the tone of the game, like between like horror and action. But then I sort of created a sort of rule for the Lacerator that would be like this. It is a comedy game and the theme is horror. So as soon as I figure it out, like this will be a comedy game, but the setting and stuff will be R, then it all like started making making more sense and being like easier to do, you know. And we can
Right.
think about it on the opposite side as well. Like this is a survival horror, and we have like comedy bits, you know. So
Right.
yeah, but I actually put like the comedy in first place, and then like the horror kind of being. I tried to nail down like the horror to be like very very tense to play and stuff like that. But in the overall, it's comedy. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of that does help from just Max's interactions with the world.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it is like having.
And every time like you interact with something, I was thinking like, okay, what Max would say right now, you know?
Yeah. I think
And
I think
most of the time, he just have dumb ideas.
I burst out laughing, I think, the first time you get the banana and all he says is like, I would never eat something shaped like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that like he's such a man, you know. He's too manly
It's
to do
so it's
anything like that.
it's so funny. Right. Were there any ideas you had to leave out of the game that were either too scary or too stupid to reasonably implement?
Oh, let me think. Uh, well, this is not like I'm just thinking about stuff that got cut in the game.
Hmm.
So this is just an interesting one that's not like particularly funny or terrifying, but there would be like a state for the character that would be that Max would be on a what's the name? Just trying to remember the English words. Uh, there was like I even programmed like some animations for it, but Max would be on a wheelchair.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Like both legs
like
missing?
yeah, I was thinking about doing like both legs missing, and then you gain access to a wheelchair. But
Hmm.
then it pretty much got cut off because I've already like designed some of the levels, and there were like plenty of stairs and stuff, and I was like, man, it will be very hard to do like different routes just for this specific thing, you know. So I ended up cutting it. Like I ended up
Yeah.
cutting the wheelchair like idea and functionality. One of that's very stupid was one that I almost kept it in the game, but I switched it on the sort of last time. But there wasn't dialogue in the game that then the narrator, when he sent me the voiceover, he got laughing in one of the lines and he was like, "Man, what are these lines, dude?" And then I almost kept it in the game, you know, like when the narrator starts saying like Max went escaping, this was a hard task, you know, something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, you
I
tried to
always,
think of it as a sexy task to stay
yeah,
motivated.
yeah.
Yeah.
So exactly. So I had one of these lines that's the line is Max loves sex, not bad memory. And then on this dialogue, he was like Max loves sex, not man, what the fuck? And then I almost kept this line in the game, you know, like he laughing and then cutting and go like Max loves
Yeah.
sex, not bad memories. But then I switched it like on the last minute just to the regular one. But I was
Uh,
going to keep like a mistake, you know, like
yeah, it would be
so this is
funny,
a
but I get
stupid
it.
one that I can think about. And I cannot think like about a terrifying one that got cut, but I almost cutted like the book like storyline completely.
Really?
Really,
What was that?
because I was like, one of the sort of rules that I had to myself when I started this game was actually that I didn't want to make a game that took itself seriously.
Mhm.
And that part of the game is pretty serious, you know. Like it can be funny and stuff, but it's more serious, like toned, and even gets like more sort of evil and stuff.
Yeah.
But I even had like this conversation with the publisher when I was doing the game. I was like, man, I'm not sure if this part, like, if I'm happy with it because it's going to like a more serious tone and stuff. And I'm not sure if I want this in the game. I think that I want just the game to be like only fun and stuff, you know, like laughing and not have like single moment that takes it more serious and stuff. But then they also helped me in realizing that contrast is something
Exactly.
good, you know? And I really think that I'm very glad that the bug story is in the game. Like,
Mm.
I feel that people like it, and it adds way more like personality to the game, and the contrast really is good, you know. And I think that in this case, it was really good. Like, I liked the way that it got into the game, you know.
Mhm.
But there are a few like movies and games that I play that I think they go way more serious than what I've done, you know. Like for example, I don't know if you saw the movie. Man, I don't want to say like about this movie because it's a big one, and I don't know. I just feel
That's
like
fine.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know, man. But for example, I didn't like the ending of Terrifier 2 because I think that I feel that that movie could go way more off track than it goes, you know. I think
Mm.
they should sort of I don't know if you have you seen it?
I haven't, but I know it's like nonstop torture and violence, right?
Yeah, like
Art the Clown.
it's a like fun movie to watch and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's funny also. But I think that some of the times, like more towards the ending, I think that I would be happier if it went more into comedy, you know,
Mm.
than it really went because it kind of started getting a bit serious, you know. And then I was like,
Yeah,
and
kind of
then
losing
that
you.
was sort of my rule for myself to not go serious, but I don't know. I think that it went well. Like I'm happy that it was not cut off. I'm very
Me
happy
too.
the way it is. Yeah.
I think it's one of the most memorable parts of the game was the entire
Exactly. Yeah.
exploring Max's psyche,
Max
I guess,
apartment.
and
Yeah.
everything. I'm very glad you kept that in.
Yeah.
Also,
Me too,
then
man. Me
yeah,
too.
then I would have no idea who
And
this guy on the wall
and
is.
and that's also something about like developing a game and stuff. Like since I like to improvise and stuff, I ended up breaking my own rule, and it was for the good, you know.
Mm.
So that's the good part about. Uh, Also, I think that's something about creating like the general like creative process, you know. Like, are you familiar with the series Breaking Bad?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but have you like watched it and
Yeah,
stuff?
Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, the movie, all that stuff.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
love this series, yeah. So I don't know if you have seen like interviews about it,
Hmm.
but for example, several like the initial TV show was way different from what it is because and they kept like changing stuff because they were feeling like changing it, you know. For example, the most drastic example if you see interviews is that Pinkman would die on the first season.
I've heard, yeah. He was supposed to
Yeah.
die at the season finale, right?
On the first one, on the first season, he was
Yeah.
supposed to die. Like, I think he was supposed to be like only 8 episodes in, you know. And then also we got, for example, the main villain of the story, Gus Fring.
Mm.
He was supposed to be like a two-character villain, you know. He also wasn't supposed to be like the main villain of the series.
Mm.
And then they like tried it out, saw that it worked, and started like changing gears, you know.
Mm.
And I think that if you want to create something and do stuff like that, allow yourself to change it in the middle, you know, if you feel like it's going to get better.
Yeah.
So
Can't
that's
say
another
being rigid.
advice, actually, like break your rules.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be so set in it. Don't be no need to be so rigid. If something feels
Yeah,
like it'll make more sense or it feels better, then to go with it. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Right. Perfect. All right. Also from Sam, why are fixed camera angles superior? Were players always going to be able to switch between over the shoulder and fixed, or is that added after some feedback?
Uh, so this was like it was from very early on development. I pretty much started the game doing on fixed camera only.
Mhm.
But I pretty much love I love Resident Evil 4.
Mm.
And I also wanted someday to do a game that was like over the shoulder, but it still has tank controls, you know, so you cannot strafe. You
Right.
just turn, you know, just like Resident Evil 4. And then I pretty much was like more on the initial phase. I did the fixed camera, it was working and off and everything. And then I just try it out. Like, let's see how it looks in the third person camera. And then I also did it. And then I was talking on a server of a friend of mine and I was asking feedback like, do you guys think it looks better on fixed third person and stuff? And one of the guys told me, man, you literally just did both. Like you did all the coding and stuff to work on both cameras. Why don't you go? Why don't you just add like an option, you know? And then I thought like, yeah, exactly. Like I've already did it, you know?
Mhm.
But of course, like this affected like more stuff in the game later on because I pretty much tried my best to make it work good on both cameras.
Mm.
So, for example, the placement of some items or important things, they like need to look good in the camera, like on the fixed camera. But I also tried to not do them on like blind spots for third person, you know.
Mm.
So it pretty much affected like the way I developed the game and designed it later on. But it was a very early thing. Like I pretty much did two of the versions, and since both of them were working, I was like, yeah, I think I can make the game with both of them.
Okay.
And I think that is also good because like Sam said that it's superior, but lots of people don't like it, you know, like it's very personal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's very personal, you know. So I think that it's good to sort of well please both types of player, you know. I'm just not I'm just not pleasing like everyone in the world because there is no strafing and all of them like move
Mm.
in the tank controls and stuff. So I'm still like on the niche and survival horror stuff. But I think that both players can benefit. All kind of player can benefit to with this two camera mode, you know.
What do you think?
I think there's no hard part about it. What I think,
Like what would you say is the preferential, like what's the artistic vision? Is it better to do it all over the shoulder or fixed?
man, I that's true. Like I pretty much tried to do it to be good and as both, you know, because I
Mm.
really like both. I feel that like Lacerator is better in my opinion in fixed
Yeah, that's how I played it.
due to like the well because of the overall feeling about it, you know.
Mm.
But I feel that some of the stuff really got way too hard in the fixed camera. So like aiming without your arm, I think that that got pretty much very hard on the on fixed camera.
Yeah, with the
And
waggling.
yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, I think that for Lacerator, the one that fits better is fixed, but I enjoy both. Like I pretty much can't decide, you know.
All right.
Like in the
So,
overall my gaming tastes, I like both.
the official video ditch prescription prerogative, what you're supposed to do, you got to play on a fixed camera with 10 controls exclusively. That's just what me and Sam think personally.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like when I see like for example, people have done like I haven't played Silent Hill 3 and I really want to play it.
Mm.
And people have done like mods to play it over the shoulder. But when I get to play it, I want to go fix it, you know,
Mhm.
because I want
The
to see
original.
the original vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if that
Yeah.
game had this option right from the beginning, then I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure what what camera I would choose. I
Well,
would
that's the thing
probably
too.
be switching around to see what fits best. And
It's all the
yeah,
intent too, yeah. Because yeah, with the Lacerator, you intended to have third person and over the shoulder camera the whole time. Silent Hill
yeah,
3
exactly. Yeah.
never did. It might just make it
So
totally,
so I
trivial.
just feel that both of them fits my vision. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard to recommend one specific. Like I think that in the Lacerator, the one that you feel more comfortable is the right one to go, you know. Because I pretty much tried my best to make both of them feel good and play good.
When are you gonna add the mercenaries to the Lacerator?
Oh, that would be fun, man.
Yeah.
That would be fun as hell. Some extra mode like that.
Yeah.
Not sure so
Well,
far if I'm gonna make it or not. But I had like few ideas on like back in the days about adding like some parts of the game with some like custom like items and laceration. So for example, you know, like in Mercenaries you can choose like between Leon and Ada.
Yeah. They both got different loadouts.
Yeah. So it would be, well, all of them would be max because it would be too much work to add like the more characters. But
Well, he's already
it
got all of
would
his
be like max
his
with different
forms.
laceration. So let's say leg max without his leg and like the leg saw and a shotgun or something like that. But I haven't like thought about the gameplay and stuff like that. And for everyone hearing it, I'm not even sure if I'm going to make it. Okay, just keep your expectations low.
Keep dreaming.
So,
Keep hoping.
yeah,
Maybe someday.
maybe, yeah, but
Yeah.
but I'm not feeling. I don't want you guys to like give up on the game or stuff like that. But right now, I don't feel like doing it. You know,
Yeah.
the game was. I'm very glad of how the game came out and the overall quality and feedback of people and stuff. But it was very hard, you know. It was a long development, and at least for now, I want to chill a bit, you know,
Yeah.
and
Very
experiment,
valid.
explore like more different ideas. So I can't say that it will never happen, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But don't hold your breath.
Yeah,
All right. And last question from Sam.
cool.
Horror can be a tricky thing to pace throughout a game's duration. Now that the game is released, do you feel that you succeeded in creating an emotionally satisfying experience that maintains tension throughout? And in hindsight, are there any aspects of the narrative you wish you had changed?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think that whatever flow like the player plays first
Mhm.
will be like more tense than the others because you still don't know like all the enemies, all the puzzle and stuff like that. But I feel like the first one that you play, it can be flow one, two, or three, any of them. I think your first play you will be like more tense, and then you will be more familiar with the game and play it more like action and stuff. Uh, you will still have like to explore and because it's new areas and stuff like that. But I feel that there won't be too much tension because you're already familiarized with the controls and enemies and stuff like that, you know. But I tried to add like tons of variety to keep it fresh, like not well, for example, maybe tension is not like the right word there. So maybe you're not as tense when you play another flow, but maybe you get surprised to see like different stuff, like different parts of the plot, different areas, and different like gameplay
Right.
feeling, you know, because for example, Flow 1 is way more like into puzzle and exploration, and Flow like 2 is way more action.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Really
crazy and
crazy.
stuff. And Flow 3 is like pretty much off the tracks, you know. So yeah, I feel happy about the game and the overall like variety into it. But I don't think that it can be like tense, very tense once you get familiarized with it, you know.
Mhm.
But I'm very happy with it. Like I just feel that this is sort of how it goes, you know. And maybe I'm wrong because, for example, on Flow 2, there is like that crazy part on Max apartment that stuff gets changing, and on Flow 3, there's like a dark area where you just have your
Yes.
flashlight. So maybe people are getting tense, you know.
I think so. I mean, from what I've experienced, they're all so radically
Cool.
different. You can't feel, you can get better at the game just by playing, but at the same time,
hmm
it is a completely new experience if you go in the different routes, the different flows.
Got it. Yeah, it's hard for me to tell. Like I'm so familiarized with the game that I don't have like the same feeling of someone that's playing it for the first time, you know.
Right.
So what I watched from streams and stuff, I see that people are like engaged in playing the different paths and are having like different set of emotions. Some of them keep tense, some of them gets more familiarized. So it's very, very different, you know. But yeah, I feel happy that you and Sam thinks that it also like get still tense and stuff.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel even happier. Like
Yeah, we like it.
because part of the plan was to keep like keep the core like feeling of it. You know?
Mhm. I think I
So
do
what
think this
was the
is
second part of the question? Sorry.
Second question. Is there any part of the game or narrative you wish you had changed in hindsight?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's like I've told you already. I've told you already about like the bug part, but I wouldn't change it. Like I think I was thinking about changing it later, but earlier, but I think it's good there, you know.
Yeah.
There's only like one sort of note in the game that I sort of wanted to remove, but couldn't think about anything else like in the meantime to replace it. Is like a note that tells like a little bit more about Lacerator's past. Because I don't know, like I've got like a mixed feeling about it. Like I've written like the back of his story, but I think that probably keeping it like not as clear as I put in would be better, you know.
Yeah,
So
the
I
less
think
you know
I
about him, the more interesting
yeah,
he
I think that
is.
I told too much in one of the notes, but also
Mm.
like I kind of wanted to, since it was like a specific thing, like a specific note that you had to have like special weapon to get to read this note. I just wanted to reward the player with more information, but I just think that maybe I told too much, you know. But it's fine. Like I'm uh not like I'm going to do a patch and remove this note, you know, like
Right.
I think it's fine, you know.
And it is
I just think
rewards.
that
That's
maybe if I had uh like a bit more time or more creativity at the time, I could come up with something more subtle or and better, you know. But I don't know. Sometimes the ideas just doesn't come and yeah.
I think as it is being placed as an Easter egg, it is something that's only going to be found by people who are really, really trying to get
Yeah,
every
yeah.
last like drop of
Hmm. Exactly.
information and content
And I
out of it.
think that these people will be happy with it, you know.
Yeah,
So maybe I'm a little bit not upset, but
too
maybe I wanted to
harsh.
tell
Yeah.
less.
Mhm.
But I think that players who get to read this will actually appreciate it, you know. So I'm fine with it too, you
Yeah.
know.
No changes. It's a perfect product.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
And
All
since
right.
I already released it, I'm not planning on changing like stuff on the story, of course. Like
Mhm.
I just wanted to be it is, you know.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, just keep it in that original vision. Don't if there's any speed
Exactly, yeah.
running bugs either, just leave those in too. Anything that lets you beat the game in 2 seconds, as
Yeah,
long as it's
like
really hard to do.
so like my vision about like speed running bugs and stuff, if they are like very easy to do and casual players can do them from like do them uh
Like on
uncautious, you
accident.
know, for
Yeah.
accident, yeah, then I'm all about fixing it. But if it's something specific that players can break the game and stuff, I prefer to keep them because
Mhm.
in my opinion, the best speedruns are the most broken ones. Like
Yeah.
I love watching, let's say, Dark Souls speedruns where players clip through the map and they're walking around, and these are the best speedruns
Oh,
to watch, you know. So if someone gets to break the whole game and beat it in 2 seconds, I would be happy, you know. I would probably not fix it. There is even like I don't know if there's plenty of people speedrunning, but I know that there's a guy that is like speedrunning and
mhm.
updating his times and stuff, and he got a bug that he pretty much doesn't need all the items of the game to beat the game, and I think that's amazing. You know, I
Yeah.
won't fix it. I will not fix it because I think it's amazing and it's not easy to do. You know, you have to sort of practice to get the
Mhm.
bug doing. I don't even know why it happens. You know, like like I coded the game and I don't know why the speedrunner can do it. But I'm glad that he
Yeah.
could break the game
But
in
it's
such a
cool.
beautiful way to watch, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, perfect. All right. So yeah, no changes, and as long as there's no bugs that let a first-time player accidentally get straight to the ends, we'll keep it as is. All right,
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Exactly.
I think that's all I got for you tonight. Thanks so much for coming on, Fernando. This is great.
Yeah, it was great, man. Very fun also talking to you. Thanks
Yeah,
for
same.
inviting and yeah, everything, man. It was fun, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Also,
So
I pretty much like the costume, man. It was amazing.
thanks.
I
I've been
wasn't
trying to do a different
expecting to
one.
talk with Ash, you know.
Try and get something fitting. Well, it's because you know why? To give it away. You know, people watching this long will put a big spoiler tag, or I'll put a spoiler thing in the description or something. I want to do the Ash costume because I got the Saw Kwon Do
Got
laceration
it.
first. So I was like, okay, this guy likes Evil Dead, so this will be the perfect costume.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that my favorite one is the second Evil Dead.
yeah, me too.
I
It's the
think
best
most
one.
people, yeah. And
It's
I
either
think
that
that
or Army of Darkness, but I like this Evil Dead 2 more.
got it.
Mm,
Yeah, Army of Darkness, I also liked it. Yeah.
yeah.
But the first one too, actually, like I pretty much enjoyed the three movies. But I think that the second one is my favorite. I don't even know the reason, but I really like the parts where it feels like watching a cartoon where, for example, he like kicks something and then he falls and the bucket falls into his head. And
Yeah.
this cartoony feeling.
Yeah.
This is amazing, man. I wish more movies did stuff like that.
I know it's really, really off the wall. And it's crazy too because he does all this stupid stuff, and he's still so cool. He's known for being like a cool guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like it's yeah, he's still cool. Like even doing this silly stuff
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
everything.
like fighting with his own like right hand and everything.
Mhm. Exactly. And that's it. Like it's a movie that has like a lot of personality and like heart to it. So
Mhm.
that's
It's
what
real.
makes it. Yeah, it's
It's
real.
true to
Right?
itself. All right.
Exactly.
Just like the Lacerator. Speaking of, everyone listening, go down below, go to Steam, go check out the Lacerator, put it in your cart, buy it, put a second copy in your cart, send it to a friend when they say, "What's this?" Don't respond, buy a third copy, send it to someone else, and just keep going down the line until you run out of friends. Yeah, Fernando, where can people find you as well?
All right. So, well, you can pretty much find me on X or Twitter. Uh, Fernando Tittz,
Yes.
TITTZ. It's pretty much my name there, and that's where I post the most. So you can pretty much go there to see like more about development of Lacerator and other games. And you can also access like games from theabyss.net
Hmm.
to find all the games that I've released. So there's Lacerator, there's Death Elevator, and well, some like more games. So if you're into like knowing more about what games I've made, so just go to the website or Twitter also, like Games from the Abyss,
Yeah, check it out.
which is
Tweet at him.
my studio.
Send him messages, talk to him directly on there, at him. I think is the way to do it. Say how much you like the game or something. Make your
Yeah, I
opinions
appreciate
known.
it.
Follow him. All right. And then this has been another hot, amazing, fantastic, splendid episode of Video Dish for you all to love and enjoy. We will see you in the next one, and keep on gaming in the free world.